Chloe Kim reveals that she was venting to her physical therapist about not being able to find a tall, handsome man that's just as successful as her. So her therapist connected her with NFL star Myles Garrett, and they instantly fell in love. "I'm gonna be single forever. I'm gonna get a sprm donor. I don't need a man sometimes. The best things in life happen when you've completely given up on finding them." That was exactly the case for Olympic snowboarding legend Chloe Kim. Before she met Cleveland Browns star Myles Garrett, she was ready to call it quits on dating altogether. At just 21, she was already a two-time gold medalist and a homeowner. She felt like her achievements created a weird dynamic where partners felt they had to compete with her. How Chloe Kim's rant about being single forever led to a surprise meeting with Myles Garrett. In a recent interview, Chloe got incredibly candid about the frustrations of dating as a world-class athlete. She explained that she often found herself in relationships where men were intimidated by her success. One day, while venting to her physical therapist, Chloe had a bit of a dramatic moment. She told him, "I'm just going to be single forever. I'm going to get a sperm donor title." When complaints turn into love, Chloe Kim's unexpected match. Success can bring fame, medals, and admiration from around the world. But sometimes, even the most accomplished athletes find themselves venting about something surprisingly simple: love. For Olympic snowboarding legend Chloe Kim, life had been a whirlwind of victories and global recognition. She had conquered the slopes, inspired millions, and built a career that placed her among the most celebrated athletes of her generation. Yet off the snow, there was one challenge she joked about often: finding someone who could keep up with her life. One afternoon during a routine therapy session, Kim found herself doing what many people do when they feel comfortable venting. Her physical therapist had heard plenty of conversations about sore muscles, competition stress, and recovery routines. But that day, the topic was very different. Kim laughed as she shook her head. "I'm gonna be single forever," she joked. "Maybe I'll just get a donor someday. I don't need a man." Her therapist smiled, recognizing the familiar mix of humor and frustration. The Olympic champion had traveled the world, trained constantly, and balanced a life that few people truly understood. Dating wasn't exactly easy when your schedule involved international competitions and intense training cycles. But then Kim added another thought, half serious and half playful. "What I really want," she said, "is someone tall, handsome, and successful enough to understand this crazy life." The therapist paused for a moment, because someone immediately came to mind. "Actually," they said carefully, "I might know someone." Kim raised an eyebrow, amused but curious. The name that followed was none other than Myles Garrett, the dominant defensive star of the Cleveland Browns. Known for his incredible athleticism and quiet charisma, Garrett had built a reputation as one of the most talented players in the National Football League. But beyond the helmet and shoulder pads, he was also known for his thoughtful personality, love of art and poetry, and surprisingly calm demeanor. The therapist suggested a simple introduction. No pressure, just a conversation. Kim laughed again. "Why not?" she said. "Let's see if this miracle exists." A few days later, the two athletes were introduced. At first, the conversation was casual. Two elite competitors sharing stories about training schedules, travel exhaustion, and the strange reality of being recognized in airports. Both had experienced the highs of championship moments and the quiet loneliness that sometimes comes with elite sports. What surprised them both was how easy the conversation felt. Garrett's calm, thoughtful personality balanced Kim's playful energy. Kim's humor brought out Garrett's lighter side. They spoke about competition, family, and the strange pressure of living life in the public eye. Hours passed faster than either expected. At one point, Kim joked about her earlier frustration. "See," she laughed, "I told my therapist I'd never find a tall, handsome guy who is as successful as me." Garrett smiled. "Well," he replied, "I'm glad they didn't believe you." The connection was instant, but it wasn't flashy or dramatic. Instead, it felt natural. Two people who understood the sacrifices of greatness suddenly realized they might not have to explain their world to each other. Over the following weeks, their friendship grew quickly. They supported each other through training, They celebrated small victories. And they laughed about the unusual story of how they met through a therapy session that started as a complaint. Friends began noticing the change. Kim seemed happier, lighter. Garrett, known for his focused intensity on the field, seemed more relaxed and playful off it. Eventually, the two athletes admitted what had become obvious. They had fallen for each other. For Kim, the irony wasn't lost. The same day she joked about never finding the right person had quietly set the stage for meeting someone who understood her life perfectly. Sometimes love doesn't arrive through glamorous events or carefully planned introductions. Sometimes it appears in the middle of a casual complaint. Sometimes it begins with a laugh in a therapy room. And sometimes, when two people who live extraordinary lives finally meet someone who truly understands them, the connection feels almost effortless. For Chloe Kim and Miles Garrett, what began as a simple introduction turned into something far more meaningful, a reminder that even champions searching the world for the perfect match might find it in the most unexpected place. And if Kim ever jokes again about being single forever, there's now a good chance Garrett will be nearby to remind her how that story really turned out.